Hello, motivation, and welcome. I want to welcome you on behalf of Motivation University today for this workshop. My name is Kesdy Baille, the Clarity Strategist, and what that means is I teach individuals steps to clarity and strategies to accomplish their goals. And today's workshop is about crushing your goals with Coach Kesdy Baille. Yes, we are going to have fun today. But first, I want to make sure you have a pen and something to take note with because we're about to dive right in. I want to give you a little secret before I get started though. Just a little secret. You don't have to start your goals in January. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get started. So today, we are going to discuss goals and clarity, how to define your goals, resources and accountability, strategies and faith. All right? So let's go with goals and clarity. What is a goal? A goal is an idea of the future or the desired result that a person or a group of people plan and commit to achieve. So a goal is something you're going to work on. Second thing is clarity. Clarity is the state of being clear or transparent. To have clarity on my goals, it simply means that I have a clear understanding of what I want to do. I wanted to break this down for you because I want to make sure we're on the same page, okay? So now that we got that out of the way, let's get going. The first thing I want you to do for me, remember that pen and that piece of paper I suggested you had earlier? I am going to give you 30 seconds and you're going to write down all of the goals you wish to accomplish for the remainder of the year. We know we don't have to start in January. In fact, I prefer to work on my goals by season rather than January. You know, like the New Year resolution, everybody's working on something. So now you have your pen and your piece of paper. I'm going to count down to 30 seconds and you and I are going to get started. So I'm going to give you an example of my goals and then you're going to follow along. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll share with you what my goals look like so you can have an idea. When I cue you on doing it yourself, you'll have an idea of exactly what you need to do. So for my goal this year, there are 4 things I want to focus on. 1, I want to be healthy. 2, I want to work in my finances, meaning I want increase. I know you want increase in your finances too. You ain't got to tell me. But if you do, can you drop some $ in the comment section? I want to see how many people just like me want some money, more money this year, okay? In Jesus' name, of course. I also want to thrive on my purpose. Yes. And I want to improve my relationship with God. So those are the 4 main goals that I want to focus on this year. And to do that, after I've written down all of my goals, I'm going to take some time now to define the goals. And what that means is I'm going to sit down and ask myself certain questions to make sure I understand myself, what I'm getting myself into. So I want to eat healthy. That was the first thing I say. I want to be healthy, right? So what does it mean to me to eat healthier? That's a question I need to know. So now for you, I want you to write down the first goal that you've written down. I want you to write down how to define it. Like the first goal that you've written down, I want you to define it for me. Ask yourself, what does it mean to you to accomplish this goal? And for me, as far as increasing my finances, the question I want to ask myself is, where in my finances do I need to see improvements? And what does improving my finances look like? I need to know those things. I'm going to give you one more, okay? Improve my relationship with God. I need to know what will improving my relationship with God looks like. And by doing that, I first have to find out where I am and where I'm going so I can know how to work in the gap. All right? I hope you're keeping up with me because we are moving along. So first, I had to find out from Uncle Google what it defines eating healthy as before I tell you what I think eating healthy means to me, okay? So according to Google, eating healthy means following a healthy eating pattern that includes a variety of nutritious foods and drinks. It also means getting the number of calories that's right for you, not eating too much or not eating too little. So now, this is what it means to me to eat healthy, okay? Hold on. I grew up in a Haitian household, okay? And rice and chicken is most of the things that we eat. So for me, eating healthy to me would mean that I need to incorporate more fruits and vegetables in my diet. Some of the things that I was not exposed to, now I have to be willing to try them because I want to improve my life in that area. The second thing, I talk about how I want to improve my finances. But what does that mean to me again? For every goal that you want to achieve, I want to say that again. It's very important that you know what that means to you because we are different people and my definition of things and your definition of things will be different. And that's all that matters. What it means to me, I need to know. Okay, so improving in my finances to me mean having the financial freedom for my needs and wants, and also being able to bless others that are in need. Yes, that's what I want to be able to do with my finances. And so now that you get the idea, you're going to continue to work down your list, and you're going to do the same thing for each and every one of the goals that you want to accomplish for the year. You're going to define them. I'm going to give you 5 seconds, okay? Just to take some time to go over everything you've written down, and then we're going to proceed. Welcome back. I hope you had fun doing the last exercise because we're going to keep going, okay? We are now going to talk about resources. Now, resources is fine. To me, I think resources is everything that we can use to advance the things that we ought to do. For example, I know for us ladies, Tithe is a great source of resource for you, okay? Now, don't tell your husband. Now, be careful with those credit cards. But those are what I think about resources. And it's the same way we're going to bring resources to our goals, the things that we wish to do. Because someone out there have what we need. And let's find out how we're going to get them. All right, so for this part, there are 3 categories we're going to work on. The first one is identify how these new goals fit into our current life. We want to have new goals. As we're building new goals, it's very important that we fit those goals into our current life situation so that way things are not in balance, okay? The second thing is for each goal, we're going to write down what you need to know. Think about it. If you've never done something before, you would need to learn new things, new ways for you to get that thing done. And that's what we're going to talk about. And then lastly, we're also going to talk about how can you get access to what you don't know. Are you ready? Let's get started. How do these goals fit into my current life? Well, for myself, my life is I'm a mother. I have a corporate job and a business, and I have my family and friends. So I need to make sure when I'm merging those goals together that nothing get left behind. I know it's almost impossible. We'll never get the whole picture, but you know what? We're gonna come very close. Let's get going. For my life, now, when I talk about being a mother, I have to keep in mind, if I say I want to eat healthy, my children might not want to eat the things that I want to eat. So I need to come up with an idea of how I'm going to eat healthy, at the same time slowly introduce what I'm doing to my children to welcome them in the journey should they want to, because you don't want to bring anyone to your journey that is not ready and willing to come on that journey with you. Okay? So now, once I'm doing that, if they don't want to, I still have to make sure they get fed. Yes, they're my babies, and it's my responsibility to take care of them. And just because you're working on a new goal, you have this new resolution, you're trying to change your life, it does not take away your responsibility. And we have to be very, very wise about that. So the second thing is my corporate job and my business. When I show up for work, I need to make sure I'm working. And when I'm working on my business, I need to make sure there's no distraction so I can focus on what I'm doing as well. So it's all about bringing everything together. My family and friends. I'm also a single parent. That means along working on my goal, along with taking care of my children, I also need to make sure I make time to do all of that. I mean, listening to this, that's how life is. Sometimes we do have a lot of things we have to do. And while we can focus on the things that matters, we can prioritize. It's also important to make sure that we are taken care of and the things that we want to work on are being taken care of as well. All right. So now we already have that. We bring that into our lives. Okay. Remember, that was bringing the goal into your life. If I'm going to eat healthy, how are my children going to eat? What am I going to do? Okay. I want to increase my finances. What does that mean? What does that look like? And now I also want to bring forth that as a coach, when I'm working with you and you bring those goals to me, my goal is to sit down with you and ask you questions, to get all of those things so I can write them down to identify where we need to work on so that way we can bring your goals again a reality. That's what we hear. So now for each one of those goals, we're going to write down what you need to know. What do we need to know? In doing so, we're going to do it in a way that is going to allow us to be disciplined and consistent throughout the journey. The way to do that is whenever you're starting to work a goal, in order for you to build that discipline level, I encourage you to get a calendar. You want to be organized. Absolutely. Whether you take one, whether it's a form of paper or electronic, you want to be able to keep your day-to-day schedule, your weekly schedule, your monthly schedule, just so you can have everything in front of you to know what you're working on. And I love this exercise because when someone invites me somewhere or asks me to do something, it gives me a chance to say, hey, let me check my calendar and get back to you. That gives me an opportunity not to say yes to something I can't show up for, and also for me to look at what I have to do and say, do I really have time for that? Because if I don't, I'm going to politely decline because I know how to prioritize my day. Another thing I also recommend is that you journal your journey. And what that looks like is whatever it is, whenever you start working on a goal, start writing it down. The date. What did you do today? What was your point of focus? How did it come about? When you write all those things down, it's easy for you to go back to see where you need to improve. And even myself as a coach, when you come to me, I might ask, hey, what did you work on the last week or the past 2 weeks based on how often I see you? And let's see, what are your struggles? So writing those things down, you don't have to think on the top of your head, try to come up with the solution, but you have it in paper and you can move forward with that. So remember, a calendar and a journal. You gotta keep track of your work. And I promise you, when you look at the paper and you see what you're doing, you will be very happy. And that will also encourage you to keep going. Okay, let me get back on track here, okay? The third part is, how can you get access to what you don't know? Let me tell you something. For me that says I want to eat healthy, you might not know a secret. I'm going to let you in a second secret. Cooking is not my ministry. Oh, it's just not. It's not my strong suit. But you know what? There's somewhere out there, there's the information that I'm looking for. Whether a book, or blogs, or even social media, YouTube, there is a place I can go to get the information that I need. Now, if I want to be very specific, one thing that can help me fasten up the process is to get with a nutritionist, because this is a licensed individual who will sit down, work with me, and create a plan altered for me. That, my friend, can save you hours of work, and I highly recommend it, okay? So now that we talk about all those parts, we've gone over identify the goals, how the goals fit into your life. For each goal, you've write down what you need to know and how you're gonna have access to that. I know, I've thrown a lot at you. I'm gonna give you another 15 seconds. I'm gonna be generous this time so you can catch the breath so we can continue. I will be right back. Welcome back. Now we're gonna do my absolute favorite, my absolutely favorite strategy. When I think about goals and when I think about strategy, I get so excited because I get to look at the goals and see what is working, what's not working, what can I fix, how to go about it. Okay, hold on, let me calm down. That is my playground. I love these things, excite me. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true because it gives me a chance to play around with things, okay? So let's talk about strategy for a second. So for this one, we're going to use the SMART acronym, which is be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound, okay? So that's what we're gonna do with this one. So let's just take an example. Let's just say my whole idea of eating healthy for the year is because I want to lose 30 pounds. Okay? Don't tell nobody now. Let's just say that's why. What I want to do now is to be very strategic about how I create that plan. So I'm not stressed out. Again, the goal fits in my lifestyle. I know how to get access to the things that I need. I know how to use my resources to gain access to everything that I need. So let's talk strategy. So I want to lose, let's just say I want to lose 30 pounds in 2022. That tells me I have the whole 2022 to lose 30 pounds. The whole year. And you know what? I'm not going to stress. I'm going to strategize. So First, by saying that I'm going to lose 30 pounds in 12 months, that is how specific I am about that. So the second thing is measurable. I want to break that 30 pounds down because 30 pounds sounds so much a lot. But if I divide the 30 pounds by 12 months, that leaves me with 2.5 pounds. 2.5. And should I decide to go with quarterly, that's 7.5 pounds. Now, I don't know about you, but the scale, she's always lying on me. And I'm not about to be her best friend. So the monthly option, no way. I'm going to go with the quarterly session. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to try my best to weight myself every quarter of the year to make sure that I'm going in my goals. And remember, I'm taking the time. I'm journaling, writing down my process. My coach and I were working on things. Hey, hello, I got you. We're working on things, what's working, looking at things and fix things around just so you can succeed. And for me, now I'm being realistic. 7.5 pounds every 3 months, that sounds like it's just as real as it's gonna get, okay? Just as real. So now I'm very specific about it. But can I get a little deeper? Yes, I can. And here's what I'm going to do. Since I already said cooking is not my ministry, and we talk about how I'm going for the first time learn how to eat healthy, so that means I don't have a bunch of healthy recipes laying around my house. No, I don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down. since I'm already working on my plan quarterly, so here's what I'm going to do. The first 3 months, actually, that's what I did. The first 3 months on my goal, I focused only on breakfast and lunch. That's it. The first 3 months, I made sure I eat healthy breakfast and lunch. And that means for dinner, I had Oreo cookies. I had whatever I want. Because, hey, the plan was not dinner. It was breakfast and lunch. Don't you judge me now. The second quarter now, I'm going to focus on dinner and snacks. That's 6 months. I have another 6 months left. So now, what that does for me, breaking it down like that, we know that it's been scientific. We know that it takes 30 days for the mind. We know that it takes 30 days to break new habits. Oh no. I just lost myself. We know that it takes 90 days to create new habit. So by me taking 90 days to focus on each area, that gives me enough time to try things to see what works for me so I can move forward with the flow and the strategy that works best for me. So what am I saying? I'm saying to break down your goals, the goals that you've written down. I want you to start looking at them and think about the strategies you can use to make them easier for you, so that way you can succeed at it. Okay? So now, the third quarter, I'm going to start incorporating workout. Maybe it's time I get me a gym membership or go for walks, and try to get that body tone, that kind of stuff, so I can make sure by the 12 months, mama look good. And that's the plan. You see how I just break it down so easy? I'm not overwhelmed. I know that in the past, when I tried to lose weight before, that was my struggle. Okay? Because I was so overwhelmed trying to cook everything at once, trying to find out what works and doesn't. You see what I did there? What I'm saying is, wherever you felt in the past, if you're trying something that you've tried before, pay attention to pay attention to what you need to know. Pay attention to what went wrong, because what went wrong can show you the area you need to focus on to turn the wrong into a right. Okay? So now that I have all that, I can move forward. Well, guess what? Now, I guess you guys gonna have to wait and see if I lose 30 pounds this year. Stay tuned. I will keep you updated. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break again. I'm going to give you 15 seconds again, because I think you like the last 15 seconds. And we'll be right back. And this time we're going to talk about accountability and support system. I will see you in 15 seconds. Welcome back. Let's talk about accountability and support system. Those two things, you cannot start your goal. You cannot win your goal. You cannot, I'm serious, without having someone to hold you accountable in a support system. What is accountability? Accountability is to take responsibility for something you have done or supposed to do. Now, this will be the time to bring some family member in your household, people to help you. Like, I'm going to tell you about one of my child, okay? Let me tell you what she did to me. She is supposed to hold me accountable because there is something called Oreo cookies. Like, I could eat a whole pack, right? So, I'm in my room, sneaking out of my room to go get some Oreo cookies. It's like she knew. It's like my daughter knew. I turn around, there is Detective Esther behind me. She took my cookie. She took it from me, y'all, and put it back in the closet. Turn around, give me a bottle of water, and say, go back to your room. I had to remember my daughter was doing the work of the Lord, and then slowly put my head down and go back to my room. So, and I share that with you because I want you to understand something. Those people in your life the people in your life that are going to hold you accountable, it's not always gonna be easy. They are going to tell you things you don't want to know. They are going to do things you don't like. But you need to remember, they are holding you accountable. They are doing what you ask them to do. And if you allow them to do so, you will succeed. Now, your support system, again, having support system is to have a network of people you rely on for practical emotional support. Sometimes in the journey, it gets tough. And you just need someone to remind you the reason that you get started. Remind you how excited you were when you first begin that goal. And that will put the fire again for you to say, you know what? You're right. I got this. I had a bad day. And that's okay. I'm going to get back up and give it a go. Be patient with yourself. It takes time to break old habits. The goal is to give it your best one day at a time and one step at a time. Okay? Now, keep pushing. Okay? Keep going. When you fall, get back up and give it another go. I'm rooting for you. I am rooting for you. Okay? I believe you can do it. I know you can. And I know you are getting already excited to get started. When we come back, we're going to talk about faith, how to bring faith into this journey. Take your 15 seconds. I know you're used to it by now, and I'll see you in a few. So the last part is faith. I know, you're probably thinking, Kesdy, why would you leave faith last? It was intentional. I don't know about you, but many times in my life, I would use my relationship with God as an excuse not to do the things that I want to do. Oh, I'll just pray about it. Oh, I'm going to fast about it. And the Lord is going to... No, stop. No, that's not how it works. You want to be very intentional about, even when you're praying, you want to be intentional. You want to be intentional. You say, God, I want a car. Well, you might want to tell him the make and model. You know, be intentional. So that's why I purposely leave to talk about faith last, because I want you to put the effort that it requires for you to succeed. Yes, we are people of faith. Yes, God is good. Yes, he's a God of miracle. Yes, he turned water into wine. Yes, he parted the sea. But you know what? They had to bring Jesus the water so he could turn it into wine. When God is going to put the water, are you going to be there to walk through? So our effort also matters. So I have two scriptures for you. I have first 2 Chronicles 15:7. And it says, but as for you, be strong and do not give up, for your work will be rewarded. And that's just it. Keep trying your best. Keep relying on your support system, your accountability partners, and allow them to help you. Use the resources that are available to you in order for you to succeed. The second scripture I have for you, ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open for you. I know without a shadow of doubt, you put in the effort, God will meet you halfway. As I like to say, if you plant the seed, the Lord will water it for you. And you will bear fruit. Guarantee. Because that's what he promised us. Okay? So I want to now thank you for your time. I had a great time with you today. And I hope you did too. So in the screen, should you have any questions, please feel free to write them in the comment. I will answer them. Or should you want to get in contact with me, you can follow the instruction on the screen below to get in touch with me. Bring forward everything you've written down and be specific, and I can help you crush your goal in 2022. My name is Kesdy, Baille, the Clarity Strategist, and it was my pleasure to serve you today. Thank you.